Welcome to Unit 4 Business Buying Behavior. Business customers. What makes business customers different from individual consumers? So, the number of products or items that are sold to business markets and the size of each transaction is much greater than consumer markets. The size of each transaction for business customers is also much greater. The complexity is far more complex, and there's customized building and retrofitting for most of the products that are sold. Personal selling, because the transactions are large, personal selling is justified. The agility of interactive personal selling allows changes to be made to meet conditions. What is the demand for B2B, which is business to business products? Derived demand is derived from a source other than the primary buyer of a product. Fluctuating demand is a small change in demand by consumers, can have a big effect throughout the chain of businesses that supply all the goods and services that produce it. Joint demand occurs when demand for one product increases the demand for another. Companies try to influence their B2B sales by directly influencing consumers. B2C markets versus B2B markets. So business to consumer is B2C, business to business is B2B. So in a consumer market, many customers geographically dispersed. In a business market, the fewer customers often geographically concentrated, with a small number accounting for most of a company's sales. In a consumer market, smaller total dollar amounts due to fewer transactions. Business market, larger dollar amounts. Consumer market has shorter decision cycles. Business market, longer decision cycles. And it may take a process where you have a personal buyer and you need to keep in contact and keep negotiating your prices. Consumer market, more reliance on mass marketing via advertising on TV, radio, websites, social media, and mobile phones. Business market, more reliance on personal selling. Consumer markets, less rigid product standards, and business markets, because it's a business selling to another business, there are more rigid product standards. So, who are B2B buyers? They can be nonprofit organizations or profit organizations. Business buyers, 4 basic categories include producers, resellers, institutions, and governments. So your producers are companies that purchase goods and services that transform into other products. For example, if you look at the photo images to your left, you have your wood, your logs, and then the paper. So this is a paper mill right here. And this is the rolls of paper that these logs create through the manufacturing process. These businesses have to buy certain products to produce the goods and services they create. Producers generally buy in large quantities. Resellers are companies that sell goods and services produced by other firms without materially changing them. These include large wholesalers, brokers, and retailers, or typical resellers. Large resellers wield considerable power over producers as they provide customers and influence prices. Value-added resellers, companies that buy finished products from other companies, customize them in some way, and then sell them at higher prices. So these things, I'm sorry to say things, that's not good, but these companies listed up here are example of value-added resellers. They are companies that buy finished products from other companies and customize them in some way and then sell them at higher prices. These are all examples of those companies. And if you look carefully, you notice that most of them are software companies, right? So think about that. Government or B2G markets, business to government markets. State and local governments buy huge amounts of products. The US government is the world's largest buyer of goods and services. Each agency will have its own procurement policies. Would-be sellers are asked to submit sealed bids. It's not always the lowest bid that's accepted. Selling to the government is not always easy. Additional regulations or specifications may be required. Decision cycles can be very long and involve large buying centers. Some businesses avoid selling to the government because the perceived hassle, quote, red tape, unquote, is too great to warrant the effort. Other businesses, though, realize that government purchases can become a sustainable competitive advantage. So, an example of one of those companies is Lockheed Martin. Institutions. So, institutional markets include nonprofit organizations, charitable organizations, private colleges, civic clubs, buy products and services in large quantities. Holding costs down is especially important. The lower the cost, the more people they can serve. Products and services bought the same as used by consumers. The quantity bought is much greater. Purchasing decisions in business markets. Who makes the decision to buy? Not always clear when dealing with business customers. Not always clear, but usually when you're a business and you've been providing products to another business uh, on a regular basis, there is a specific buyer or seller that is linked together from your organization to the other business organization. So they are in communication with each other to find, oh, are you going to purchase X amount of laptops this year, uh, college? And then if the college says, yeah, yes, please, they're usually in communication, the purchasers and the sellers. Finding the decision maker is key. Where to start in B2B sales can be a little bit like a scavenger hunt. And that's true. If you're not familiar with B2B sales, it's going to be really hectic for you to get into contact with those making the purchasing decision. But the best thing you can do as a student, a business student, is to begin right now networking with anyone and everyone that you come into contact with that's in the profession that you're moving into. If you meet somebody, let's say on the college campus, that was representing X company, get their card. Ask them, hey, can I look you up? If they're on their card, their LinkedIn profile is there. Get that information. Share your LinkedIn information. LinkedIn is important right now because when you get into college, as you go into your internships or you go into your career, these networks could be especially important and powerful for you. There may be several people involved. There are tiers of B2B and B2C customers. Professional buyers. These are buying centers. Oh, professional buyers. Buying centers are groups of people within organizations who make purchasing decisions. These are the people you need to get into contact with. Buyers may have different titles, including purchasing agents, purchasing managers, procurement officers, and merchandisers or retailers. So these are people that you need to network. If your business, let's say you have a hairstyle salon, right? You need to have, let's say, you want to sell some shampoos, some conditioners, products for the hair, right? So you need to make sure that you're purchasing those products at a price that's made for business to business purchases, not the price that a consumer goes into Ulta and purchase their shampoo for, because that price is way higher than if you were to buy in bulk at a lower price for business to business transactions. So it's very important that if you're going into business, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're even going into a business that's established already, that you make sure you link yourself, if you're a marketing professional, with these buyers. These are the duties of professional buyers. They consider the availability of products, the reliability of the products vendors, and the technical support they can provide, studying a company's sales records and inventory level suppliers, and obtaining bids from them, negotiating prices, delivering dates, and payment terms for products, keeping abreast of changes in the supply and demand for goods and services their firms need, staying informed of the latest trends so as to anticipate consumer buying patterns, determining the media, TV, the internet, newspapers, and so forth, X out newspapers because nobody reads them anymore, in which advertisements will be placed. Tracking advertisements in newspapers and other media to check competitors' sales activities. So very few people still read newspapers, but if you're marketing to a generation, let's say Generation X or higher, some of us still read newspapers, so take that into consideration. Other buying center players, there are the initiators, who are people within the organization who first see the need for the product, gets the process going. So an example of an initiator, maybe those are the people on the floor stocking the merchandise. They're stocking and they see, oh my goodness, this product is selling so much that we're out of it. We need to order more. Those are initiators. Users, people and groups within the organization that actually use the product. Frequently, one or more users served as an initiator. So influencers are people who may or may not use the product but have experience or expertise that can help improve the buying decision. Gatekeepers, people who decide if and when you get access to members of the buying center. These are your buying assistants, personal assistants, executive assistants, administrative assistants, and other individuals. So if you look at these levels, we'll go to the next one and then I'll explain. Deciders, people or a person who makes the final purchasing decision. Purchasing managers, maybe CEO for large, expensive purchases. So if you look at all of these levels of buying center players, everyone in the organization is involved in the buying process. So you as a marketing professional, you need to know that even the person that you're walking in to say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm here to meet with your purchasing manager, that person in the front, if your impression to them allows them to move you to the next level of the buying center players. So make sure you're presenting yourself when you're going to another business. If you are a business to business provider or business, then you need to make sure that your impression that you're making to even just the person that's reading you at the door is something that will be positive and will move you to the next level. Dynamics of B2B marketing. Interpersonal factors among the people making the buying decisions have an impact on the products chosen. B2B marketers are aware of these dynamics and try to influence the outcome. B2B marketing is very strategic. Selling firms gather information about their customers and use that information to their advantage. So there's a lot of research going on in the B2B industry. So the big, let's say the government agencies, right? They already know who they want to deal with, what businesses they're willing to purchase materials or products from. If you want to enter that market, it's going to be very hard if you're a new business that they don't know about. They will have to research your information. You may have to bid for their business, and it's a process. So it's important to know that if you go into the B2B industry, that if you're in the marketing department or in the marketing department, you are aware that you need to research and know your customers. These are the stages in the B2B buying process. A need is recognized, the need is described and quantified, potential suppliers are searched for, qualified suppliers are asked to complete responses to requests for proposal, the proposals are evaluated and suppliers selected, order routine is established, post-purchase evaluation is conducted. So if you notice, there's less steps in a B2B buying process versus the B2C buying process. And this one, there is post-purchase evaluation, but since the B2B relies heavily on research and networking and connections, this area is usually, you already know who you're dealing with, so there's really no reason to provide like, oh, I don't, like reviews. But in a B2B industry, word of mouth is very, if you're networking with another business and you receive poor service from a different business, you share that information with your network. And maybe your network is 10, and those 10 people have 10 people that they're going to reach out to too. So you have to be careful when you're working in the B2B industry, because every move can mean the cancellation of your RFP or your bid for that to become a supplier for that business. This is an example of a purchase product specification. These are things that are provided to a purchasing department, what your business is, what you want to offer, the background, the types of services that you offer, and then specifications. This is just an example of what you need to turn into another business to show what you can offer them. Types of B2B buying situations. There's the straight rebuy, where firms buy the same product in the same quantities from the same vendor. Colleges, they need office supplies for their office workers and for also students should they need them. So the quantities are usually the same every time. Modified rebuy, firms buy the same type of product as in the past, only the order is modified or a new vendor is used. So if relationships between a former vendor was broken, then a firm may decide, oh, I need to go with a new vendor because our relationship was ended and we decided to go with somebody new. Or maybe a new vendor has a better product or service that is cost effective for the firm. So then the business goes with that vendor. New buy is when firm buys a product for the first time. B2B e-commerce. E-commerce transactions conducted electronically rather than face-to-face. E-commerce has made locating near buyers less important. B2B e-commerce has been slower to take hold than B2C e-commerce, often more complex than B2C e-commerce. And the reason why B2B e-commerce would be slower is because there's a lot of trademark business information that they don't want to be like spread out to everybody and anybody. So there's more regulation on what they can share. They are not really purchasing every day, so there might be only one time that they need to use it. Um, a lot of it is reliant on the security that they have with another company. Is it safe for us to put our information on this? And that's why they create vendor portals where they can upload their orders, and then the order is shipped, invoices are sent, payment is sent and received. B2B websites. So their sell-side site in which a single seller sells products to many different buyers. A buy-side site, a business buys products from multiple sellers that go there to do business with the firm. B2B exchanges, e-commerce sites where buyers and sellers find and do business with one another. B2B auctions, web-based auctions that occur between business. Reverse auctions occur when buyer and seller roles are reversed. So this is an example of e-commerce site where they're um, showing like, oh, these customers are selling this this article came up for this business. Do you want you to have, there's a lot of um, resources here on these types of websites for business B2B e-commerce. And this is another reason why they don't want to use the online method of purchasing is because of this. They want to avoid price wars. Because if you look onto different businesses, like let's say I'm a landscaper and I need to work with, I don't know, Caterpillar, or no, I need to work with John Deere because I need some equipment. John Deere is not going to give me the exact price for one of their equipment because that would provide the other equipment suppliers with an idea of, oh, if John Deere does this, then we'll go ahead and do this. And then there will be like um, conflict. This is just to avoid conflict. They don't want to put prices. So I would say go look on a business to business website where they sell to another business. Even like if you go on to Waxy for chemicals used to clean, you'll see that there's only prices there if you have an account to go into it. Content marketing, a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and drive profitable customer action. An example of this is IBM's Big Data Analytics Hub. Features objective case studies, information about big data technology information, help for software developers, etc. Information is presented via podcasts, animations, videos, webinars, and social media. I advise you guys to look these up because IBM is so smart that they're not only putting this on their website, they're also connecting with LinkedIn to provide their webinars or their videos or tutorials, even like I think specific classes, certification classes, and they provide that within combination with LinkedIn. So I would go look on LinkedIn and find them. We all know about artificial intelligence, AI, the ability of machines and computers to do things commonly associated with intelligent beings, such as the ability to reason, discover meaning, generalize, and learn from past experiences. Examples are Siri from iPhone and Amazon's Alexa. Companies want to better understand AI to leverage it to their advantage. everyone is trying to use AI. So if you can learn how AI affects the industry that you're going into, that would be a step, like a one up for maybe a applicant for the same position that you're applying for maybe doesn't have. So if you have experience in AI, that would be very, very beneficial to your resume. B2B social media marketing. So I would say the only B2B marketing that you usually see is on the, what is, I forgot what the shopping channel is. Let me just, I know it starts with Q. So there's HSN, the shopping channel, uh, QVC. QVC was a popular shopping channel, and they'll have products on there. Either it's a B2C product or a B2B product, new products, and they'll show like videos of, oh, this is what's happening. They may have a YouTube video about it. I think ShamWow has a lot of YouTube videos about their product. You can just see these like on YouTube or these channels that I explained to you. They're not really popular because not a lot of people are going onto the social media from business to business, the business to business industry. But it is good to research because if your company needs to run a paid marketing campaign to target certain groups, they can get that information. International B2B markets. B2B markets in the same industry tend to cluster in the same geographic areas. Clustering occurs as the resources that these firms need are located in some areas but not others. Sellers want to be close to their buyers. Clusters occur both domestically and internationally. Ethics in B2B markets. Transparency International, a watchdog organization, annually ranks the likelihood of firms from the world's industrialized countries to bribe abroad. What is ethical and what is not is often not clear cut. How does a business get all of its employees on the same page in terms of how they behave? Laws and regulations, state, federal, and international. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, regulates companies in an effort to prevent them from engaging in unfair trade practices that can harm consumers and hamper competition. Companies that sell to the government must by law follow very strict ethical guidelines and ethics code. So it's really important because you're representing your firm in another country, um, that you provide that service ethically and that you know what is ethical. And that's a whole nother class. So I would advise you guys to take that. And again, if you have any questions, this is a shorter, more succinct presentation. If you have any questions, please contact me, reach out to me, and have a nice evening.